What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today, in the world of indie games, we're checking out Mars Horizon, a game that's actually kind of unique. I've played like the first 45 minutes or so, like the first round of turns or whatever, and the game is kind of like Civ, but if instead of playing Civ, you were playing as like NASA. And so basically, like, you'll have like a compound, a headquarters, you'll be building little base modules and things that make your research more advanced and your ability to craft rockets better and increase the quality of like your flight patterns and stuff like that, while simultaneously doing like test launches. And then you're also doing diplomacy with other nations for like joint task force missions and things like that. Kind of a unique take on the civilization management structure, I guess, of games that have come before. And so anyway, it's not exactly like Civ, but it's like, it's hard to find like anything quite like this from what I've played so far. It's very much kind of a 4X game, but at the same time, it's a 4X game that revolves entirely around the spaceflight exploration industry. And so if that sounds intriguing to you, this might be one to put on the old wish list for later. Let's start a new game. We get to pick between the ESA, the European Space Agency Space Research and Exploration Program. So we get 100% rewards for joint missions. We get increased chance of joint missions generating. We have a 50% science bonus from our diplomatic relationships. And then we also have a higher payload reliability. With Russia, we have invalid launch windows will become suboptimal launch windows. We do not lose support for a failed mission, and then our astronauts are cheaper to pay and also to hire. Or we can go with NASA. Our agency bonuses are achieving a top 3 milestone rank grants double support bonus. We get +1 engineering level to all of our vehicle parts, and then contractors are more frequently available. Okay. I mean, all of these places seem like, so for the ESA, it seems like they really want to play the diplomatic role, and they're really going to need to capitalize on just being friendly and having a high reputation with all of the other agencies and running lots of joint missions. For Russia, it seems like they probably want to have a lot more. They can go through the hiring process for astronauts a lot faster, and they can take a lot more chances. They're basically like the risky faction because their launch windows, they can launch on days that other people cannot. And then on top of that, they don't lose any support for failing those launches or failing those missions. They continue to get the same funding or whatever, regardless of their success rate. And so anyways, it seems like they're kind of the dice-rolling risk-taker faction. They're the Tharsis faction. And then NASA over here, I actually don't know what the milestone rank is. So I'm not exactly sure what NASA's bonus is, this top one right here. I don't know. I'm from America, so I guess we'll go ahead and do the NASA thing. Welcome to this early preview of Mars Horizon. This limited beta, yada, yada, yada. You can do the first couple eras. Once you're out of there, it will be like 1980, and the demo will end. That's okay, because we start out in 1957, and every single turn is basically a month. So, like, we've got a lot of gameplay in front of us. The first thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to go down to Earth. And the first thing that we're really going to want to try to do is build our first rocket. Because we're not really going to be that great of a space program unless we start playing around with rockets. I don't know anything about all this. But before launching a payload into orbit, it will be vital to test the agency's launch facilities with suborbital flights. These sounding rockets will carry an array of sensors and other experiments, but they will not have the power to achieve orbit. Okay, let's plan it. Now, we don't really have any vehicles available, except for the sounding rocket. That's pretty much the only thing that we have available. So I guess I'll go ahead and tell that to do its thing. Its name is the Shiva. Let's name this thing the Ollie. We'll name it the Oliver. There we go. This is the Oliver rocket. Apparently it has 40% launch reliability, which is way better. The last time I played as the Europeans, and their launch reliability was like 20 or 25% on their first launch. So I guess that's where the Americans make it up, is that our engineering manufacturing quality is higher on the parts that comprise the rocket, therefore our reliability goes up, I guess. Let's go ahead and confirm it. Its reliability is 40%. Your engineers will deliver a construction report once the Oliver has been completed. The vehicle apparently has an unrevealed trait. Okay, we'll go ahead and build it. We've only got $100,000 for right now, but we're going to get 53 back in funding at the end of this month, so it should be okay. That's ready to go. We don't really have a launch date, but that rocket will be concluded in 1 month. All right, the next thing we need to do is set up our research. We can either go for artificial satellites, we can look at rocket test pads and get different types of buildings. We can start doing upgrades to our vehicles. So we can start looking at different boosters that will have more power and will be able to propel us a little bit better. I don't know what the right choice is for any of this stuff, but I would assume that building satellites is more than likely the first thing that you're going to want to get done because, I mean, it's like with the race to the sky, right? Around the time of World War I, World War II, the first nation to achieve mastery over the skies was going to be the nation that basically was able to extend their influence across any battlefield, across any country, across anything. Satellites are the next step to that. It's the next layer up. If you have satellites, you have eyes everywhere. You have ears everywhere. You have the ability to watch anywhere and to see everything happening. And so it basically makes your reconnaissance that much more effective. So I feel like the first person to get satellites up and also deny other nations an ability to get their own satellites is going to be the one that wins. Although I've got a feeling this game is not that vicious of a space exploration game. If we were playing any other game based on fantasy or sci-fi, I would assume you want to be the first guy to get satellites up in the air. And also you want to be the first guy to get the ability to shoot down everybody else's satellites, to deny them the ability to basically recon on the level that your faction can. We don't have anything else going on right now, so we're just going to wait till next month and let the Oliver complete. So there's our first rocket right there. I mean, it seems kind of small. Like, I know they've got the hangar I know they've got the hangar blurred out, but what is this, a rocket ship for ants? Like, this rocket ship seems kind of small, unless that hangar is, like, absurdly large. It could go either way. Our engineers have reported that the launch vehicle construction is completed with no notable issues. Okay, so now we got to set our training and our launch date. Let's do it. There is no training right now, so we don't really need to worry about that. Apparently, this mission is uncrewed, which means that it's going to be conducted via mission control and doesn't need astronauts, so that eliminates that tab as well. We got to pick a launch date. We could launch in March, but this is a suboptimal launch date, so there's a chance that it'll go really, really badly and we'll lose funding or something like that because, after all, we're not the Russians. We don't get a pass on failed missions. And so let's go ahead and fire off. Yeah, let's go ahead and launch off in April. Sounds good to me. We'll confirm the mission setup. We'll put a big old government stamp on top of it because nothing is more official than the government stamp. And then we'll wait and see what happens. Okay. So we've got our rocket all built. There's not really anything for us to peruse right now in 1957. So let's go ahead and go with the next month. The artificial satellite research is now complete. This is an essential first step in any space program. The first agency to launch a satellite into a stable orbit around Earth will make a prominent early lead in the space race. And as rocket technology advances, so does the prospect of exploring beyond the confines of our planet. Yet the public continue to question whether the fledgling agencies can overcome the dangers of spaceflight. We've unlocked the moon, so there you go. We've gotten a little bit further out into space. Very nice. Wait, what was that notification that it just gave us? Hold on. Do I have notes around here somewhere? Something popped up right here, but it's gone now. And I wanted to see what it said. Maybe that's it. There we go. All right, so they have a test launch in 2 months. We're ahead of the curve right now. Proud to hear it. Proud to hear it. Happy to hear it. Wouldn't have it any other way. We can go for the Explorer payload if we wanted to. It's an option. We also have buildings over here. We can do a research lab that will improve scientific yields from missions. Okay. We can also go with a rocket test pad, which allows us to do more rigorous vehicle engine tests, resulting in more reliable launches. Or we can go with a spacecraft assembly facility, which will give us a clean room environment to aid in the development of mission payloads. Okay. As far as vehicles go, we can get a better booster over here. It's going to cost us 50 Gs to make one. It requires a small launch pad. All right. I got a feeling things are going to get pricey over there. Let's go with spacecraft assembly for right now. It's going to take us 3 months to get that. And I've got a feeling that we're going to need it before too long. As far as diplomacy goes, is there anything here that I can do? I can propose, oh, Russia really, really does not like us. They are not fans. Then again, it is the 1950s, so we are in the infancy / the running up of the Cold War right now. However, Europe seems to be on almost good terms with us. Joint missions is unavailable during the beta. So I guess we're just going to sit here and, like, scowl at each other until somebody wins. All right, so before launching the payload into orbit, it is vital to test... Hey. There we go. The abilities to launch facilities with suborbital flights. These sounding... Oh, okay, we've already read that. Launch it. Alright, so launch outlook. Our in-flight engineers have inspected the launch vehicle. One of the following events will occur during launch. Launch reliability will affect the chances of a positive or a negative outcome. The higher the reliability, the more likely the launch will be successful. Okay. I mean, we've got a 55% chance that something bad's going to happen, and we've got about a 45% chance that something good's going to happen or nothing's going to happen. So, yeah. I mean, I don't think rescheduling is going to matter because we're already at the best conditions we can have. Go for it.
4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff.
Dude, it's gonna blow up, like, on the paddock, and I'm gonna feel like an idiot. Why does it look like it's curving, bro? Is it supposed to curve like that? I don't know if it's supposed to curve like that. Okay. It took some systems damage, so we got less of a mission reward, but at the end of the day, we were successful. It's just the launch rattled around a lot of the sensitive equipment, and so, you know. On the plus side, our sounding rocket leveled up, so we've gotten better at sounding rockets. We were milestone first, so we were the first ones to accomplish a test launch. We got to it, we got a little bit of diplomatic influence, it looks like, and then also for a month, we're going to get bonus research. It's pretty sweet. My suggestion would be that we go back to Earth. I would suggest that we keep doing test launches, right? Like, don't we want... What do we need for this? So, complete the mission profile and the mission payload research to start planning the mission. So, we need vehicle parts. We need to go all the way down to... Oh, man, we probably should have started doing vehicle parts, huh? Then again, we're going to need the manufacturing in order to make the vehicle parts. So, I feel like we made the right choice. Like, we picked the thing that allows us to build the stuff that we're going to need. We can get an animal into space, we can get satellite imaging, and we can get a human into space. Okay. There's no request or joint missions available for this planet. Check back later. Alright, is there anything I can do with Mars? There's not really anything that I can do with Mars yet either. Alright, well. We did our test launch, so that's good. Let's go next month. Spacecraft assembly facility research has been complete. Nice. Okay. Well, what's that going to cost us in order to deploy? Is that something that, like, we really, really want to have? What about moving this building? Oh, we're going to need to move forests and stuff, too. Yeah, move the launch pad to right there for right now. We can go with a new building, and we've got our spacecraft assembly right here. And it fits. That's why I wanted to move that right there, is that I had a feeling it was going to fit. Yeah, I think that'll work out fine. We can spend $100,000 on that. It looks like our upkeep actually ate into our monthly earnings a little bit. But that's okay. We need $4 million in order to clear that on out. We need $100K to get rid of that obstruction right there. So apparently these larger berms, like these little swampy areas, I'm assuming that it's like simulating that we're in Florida or something right now. But anyways, in order to get rid of some of these little areas, it's going to cost us what seems like a lot of money. How long is that going to take to be done? The spacecraft assembly facility will not be done for a little while. But that does mean... Yeah, let's go with the rocket test pad next. I want to make sure that, like, we could build all the rocket parts and whatnot, but we'll sort of just be firing them into the atmosphere blindly, hoping for the best. And I don't feel super good about that. I want to have all the facilities. Once we have all the facilities, then we will start assembling all the things we need and doing the proper tests and the proper oversight, because I'm not trying to blow up astronauts, man. They're like American heroes, okay? I don't want to be the guy that history sees as the dude that blew up astronauts. You don't want to be that guy in the history book, trust me. Like, if it has a picture of my face and then the little, like, bold subtext underneath is like, Matthew, he blew up astronauts, 1957, Florida. You know what I like? Nah. I think I'll skip. All right, so the rocket test pad research is complete. Nice. We can get further and more rigorous vehicle engine tests. Cool. I didn't expect that to be done that quickly. I guess I'll go after some research then. In our base right here. Oh, really? Being neighboring like that makes it so that we have... Oh, so you don't want that to be touching your HQ. Gotcha. Interesting. So you've got a bit of a... You've got a bit of a Tetris thing going on. So we've got like the vehicle hangar, right? And like these buildings appear to get positives and negatives based on what they're touching. And so I wonder what happens if we swap these two. Because this right here, I bet our spacecraft assembly facility probably gets some kind of production bonus by being linked up directly with HQ. And then this, if we can spin it off to the side or whatever, maybe we can skip out on that payload reliability nerf. Seems like it might be a thing. What is the enemy doing right now? What are they all up to? Let's see here. So in May, they all did a test launch. Okay, so they're kind of like where I am right now. But aside from that, we don't really know much more about what they're up to or what they're working on. Let's see here. A test launch for atmospheric sampling. They want me to do a suborbital. Yeah, do it. You can do this. Impavid. What the hell is that? No, this is the Oliver 2. The Oliver 2 rocket. There we go. Yep. Go ahead and smash that thing on out. Hopefully we'll get a little... What was the reward for that, by the way? So for the overview, we'll get 25 research and like 10 more prestige or something. Okay. All right. So we've got the research lab now, and we're earning a little bit more money step by step, day by day. So atmospheric launch sampling, the sounding rocket is good and ready to go. And our reliability is actually pretty good right now, 55%. That's 10% higher than it was before, so hopefully good things happen. We can set up this mission right here. So this is all controlled. We're going to have to wait till November to do the launch because that's an invalid launch date. So let's wait till November, I guess. What was the deadline on this? Did it have a deadline? It doesn't look like it has a deadline. Okay. I can live with that. We can wait a couple of months. I'm not really going to be building or doing anything anytime soon anyways. So we've got a research lab expansion right there. We've got a building mission control. And so it's responsible for the critical phase of a mission after launch, monitoring, issuing commands to the spacecraft. Yeah, why not? Go for it. Actually, no. Let's go for some vehicle parts. Yeah, let's go for the... Can I queue these up? Is that possible? So we can either go with the boost... So we go with the Vanguard booster? What's the difference between these two? Okay, so the Vanguard has lower reliability, lower capacity, but as you level it up, it gains more of a bonus. Whereas this has more capacity and more launch reliability, but it gets almost nothing from leveling up. It's also got a much longer build time. And I assume that these match up with each other, would be my guess. Like, I can't put a Vanguard booster on, like, a Jupiter upper. Yeah, that would be my guess for how that works. I feel like we're going to waste a lot of research doing this, though. I guess we'll do the little projects, and we'll just, like, see what happens here. So our base is good to go. I can probably move some of this around. There we go. Now we've got it flowing. It cost us more money than I wanted to spend, but It's kind of life. A small, so Vanguard research is done, designed for launching basic satellites into low Earth orbit. Yeah, is there more of a description here on some of this stuff? Oh, there is. I just didn't read it because I'm stupid. Okay, a powerful early liquid fuel rocket from an intercontinental... Oh, really? So that's from an ICBM. Okay. Small upper stage for basic satellites. Sounds good. Nice. So we got the Viking done, too. I mean, we're working on satellites next, so that's kind of what I'm going for. If we go to Earth, it looks like we're getting there with artificial satellites. So complete required research to start the mission plan. Okay. Oh, we need all of those parts. Oh. Okay. So, like, yeah, we have other stuff that we need to accomplish effectively. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do the Jupiter next. I'm trying to work my way down the tech tree right now in order to get to where we want to be. And then our test launch is next month. Alright, so the data's optimal. We didn't need a training profile. We're 55% on the sounding rocket, so that's good. Alright, launch reliability, so we have a pretty good chance here. Actually, it's better than last time. We've got a 36% chance that something bad will happen. And then we've got a 64% chance that nothing or something good will happen. So, like, yeah, it's not bad. Go for it. We have no control over this situation. It's all RNG, so, like, just kind of close your eyes, hold your breath, hope for the best. Don't fart near the rocket. It messes with, you know, sometimes people get nervous farts. Don't do that near the rocket. It's going to mess with the structural integrity. Okay? Well, that's not good. Apparently, we got a 9% critical fail roll on our rocket, and it blew up. Feels bad. Feels really, really bad. I felt like things were... We had like a 90... We got XCOM, dude. We got XCOM'd. That's exactly what happened right there. We got XCOM'd hard. We rolled a 1 on a D20, pretty much. Well, that does not help us much. Does the mission stay there? Oh, it doesn't. So you only get like one shot at it. Okay. That research would have been really, really helpful. After analyzing data from the recently failed test launch, researchers have identified a couple improvements that can be made to the booster technology. Sometimes we learn more when things blow up, a particularly enthusiastic engineer commented. Okay, well, we're done with the Jupiter research then. And that means we can go into the Jupiter upper research as well, which I think should complete pretty much like right as it gets going. We do have a lot of money, so I do think that increasing the base would be a good idea. We have the research lab, which I think is probably something you want to build earlier rather than later. We can apparently rotate this to get it into like a better spot if we wanted to, but it does take up a lot of space. Yeah, we can do that right there. And then we've got a little bit of money left. It's 150K in order to clear that out. What's that going to cost me? 50K? All right, clear that out. Go ahead and get as much of this constructive area kind of reclaimed as possible. But man, some of it's expensive. We're going to need much better funding if we're going to be able to get rid of most of these slots. Moving all along. Research labs should boost up the amount of beakers that we're getting per turn. So that we can start researching a little bit faster. Our budgetary review, plus 15. There you go. And so anyways, they've upped us to Tier 2 funding, which means that we're getting 79K per month. That's good. That's workable. I can live with it. Almost $1 million a year. Almost. Actually, that 9 might add up to being $1 million. I don't know. What's 79 times 12? You know what I mean? Like, It's close. It'll depend if that 9 times 12 adds up and puts it over $1 million. Let's see. Our versatile early solid fuel upper stage. Oh, nice. It's done. Sweet. Happy to hear that. And then we needed the algal, and we needed the caster in order to do the next part. Let's see here. Our research is done. Let's get the caster, which will be done in 2 months. We should probably check and see if we've got any requests. We do not. There are no requests right now. So, you know, oversight-wise, it appears as though they've sort of just shoved us into the corner and forgotten about us. Research lab is done next month, which is very, very cool. We should probably take a minute and see... We can afford to remove that obstruction right there. That would give us a lot more equitable building space. I say we go for it. We just don't have anywhere to build right now. Get a little bit more funding. And then our research is done. Yes. Finished. So what is this providing? Oh, we get more research from missions, not on daily tick. Okay. Or monthly tick. Gotcha. All right, well, what's a new building going to cost? We have the rocket test pad over here. It's 100K. So it looks like we don't want it to neighbor the science facility, the research lab. But we do want it to... Okay, well, we can only fit it in right there for right now, so that's what we're going to do. But I'd like to stay expanding as much as possible. Hey, nice. We got the caster research. And we should probably... We should probably try to get that satellite up in the air. That's sort of like my opinion, but it looks like we have all the stuff done, but apparently in order to... Oh, so it's like the mission and the payload are like separate researches. Gotcha. What's my active research right now? My active research is the +5 research lab expansion. It'll depend, like, did we get another mission? I was hoping we'd have more requests, but unfortunately, the most fun part of the game, which is shooting high-powered explosives into space, we don't get to do that as much as I had hoped. So, it's left us in a situation where I'm like, well, damn. My name is Splattercat. I really, really hope you enjoyed this gameplay right here. This is the Mars Horizon beta. The game's not out yet, but you can add it to your wish list if you wanted to, or at least add it to a little sticky note like on the side of your monitor if you're into this kind of stuff. Normally, I'm not a big space management guy, but with this game right here, I'm actually sort of addicted to it right now. Like, I kind of want to play it more. I want to shoot some more rockets and blow some more stuff up. Anyways, I'll see y'all next time. Thank you for being here. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. If you don't know who I am or what I do, my name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Tomorrow we'll have something else up on the chopping block, but for right now, I'm very, very excited about this project. I'll see y'all later. Hi, do everybody.